Hi, I'm Matthew Martin of Citron Cooperman's Cannabis Advisory Services team. I'm here with our co-practice leader, Harry Carpenter. Today, we'll be getting an update on the New Jersey market. Hey, Harry, welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on in New Jersey in the cannabis market?
Sure, Matt. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. What we learned just recently is that the New Jersey CRC is going to accept applications for manufacturers and cultivators. The dispensaries have to wait till March 15th of 2022. There's been a buzz around the state. There's been a ton of networking. A lot of the industry groups are coming back online, and honestly, they're bringing back the live networking events, and I really feel like it's really driving the excitement in the state. You know, some of the things that I've noticed and the changes in 2021 compared to prior years is just a really a lot more focus on the barriers to entry to get into the industry in the state. You know, for example, the licensing fees are much less. I mean, in the past, it was a straight $20,000 for every applicant, and if you got the license, they kept the money, and if you didn't, they gave you $18,000 back. That alone was negatively impacting the folks that were trying to come in to the space. Now they have all sorts of things. You know, if you're going to be a micro business, the fee to get in is much lower, depending on which type of license. You know, it could be $100, could be $1,000, but it's not 20, and it's not higher than that. If you're going to be a micro business, there's absolutely no cap on the business, and 100% of the ownership has to be a New Jersey resident. So can't be a CEO of the company in New Jersey and then have an outside investor from another state. They're not going to allow you to get a micro license. They also have the conditional license in Jersey. You know, what that does is it allows applicants to apply for the license on a conditional basis. So you don't need to have a lease agreement in place. You don't even have to have a location. And then if you pass all the other aspects of the application, then you're able to go back and really kind of fill in the holes for those other items. I think, you know, I'm not a landlord, but I think it's a lot better for these applicants to go to a landlord and say, and, you know, once they get them on board with having a cannabis business on their facility, it's a lot easier to say, I have a conditional license. Like, this is a business, you know, I have to go back to the state within 120 days and be able to articulate where I'm going to have this space. In my mind, there was all these things: the high license fee, not having the option for a conditional license, no focus on micro business. All those things created barriers to entry in the state. So now we have a lot more activity. We have a lot more people participating in the application process, and you know, it's exciting. And now we have dates, and we actually can focus on when these applications are, you know, need to be submitted. Another big difference, though, Matt, is the last two rounds in New Jersey, there was an application date where they opened it and they ended it, and you know, and at the end of the application period, they would grade all the applications, and they would have X number of licenses to award, and that was it. And now they're going to be grading as they come in. So it's interesting. You know, most people submitted their license on the last couple of days of the application period. They were taking all the time possible to maximize their points. I think folks are going to want to move even more quickly because they're going to grade them as they get them. However, if you're a minority-owned business, a disabled veteran, a women's business, or a social equity business, all of those applications are going to move to the front of the line. So the state is really going out of their way to give all those, you know, sort of disadvantaged, you know, groups of people and the in-state residents, really give them a better shot compared to, you know, the out-of-staters, which quite frankly took over most of the licenses in the early years when New Jersey started issuing the licenses.
Where do you think Citron Cooperman and our team can help the most for these New Jersey applicants?
So, you know, I've read the rules and regs in New Jersey, and, you know, there's a 160-page document, and sprinkled throughout the document are things that we would get involved in. every applicant is going to produce a financial forecast. Something that you and I do together often is reviewing those financial forecasts, advising on them, helping to make them better. One thing that I noticed in New Jersey specifically is they're requiring applicants to produce the last 24 months of financial information. And as you've seen, Matt, and I've seen, when startup companies in this industry are starting, they often don't have an accounting software yet. They might not have a company bank account yet. They're using personal credit cards, personal bank statements, putting money in, is that a contribution? Is that a loan? So, even going back and pulling together the financial data, from inception of the business through the application period is something that's new this year in the application. That's another area we get involved in. Anything accounting and finance, we would get involved in. I think we are an important piece to the puzzle, and certainly we've shown that before.
Wow, thanks for that information, Harry. All right, that's all the time we have for today. For more quick cannabis talks like this, and for the latest legislation and news updates, check out our Cannabis Content Hub on the Citron Cooperman website and sign up for our newsletter via the link above. Have a great day.
Thanks.